This cold email offer gave me 18 positive replies in one day. That's 18 people potentially wanting to buy my service in one day. And I gave the whole system that I was selling away for free. I literally just handed them the automation, the JSON, the files, all the prompts, everything for free, knowing that 99% of people who got that file wouldn't have a fucking clue what to do with it. And that's the power of a good offer. It builds trust, authority, it gets replies, and it gets you a fuckload of money. So today I'm going to break down exactly how to build offers like that for your AI automations agency. So I've actually got a video on that particular offer on my YouTube channel already. It's called This Email Made Me 10K Last Week, because it was fucking powerful. I ran it probably in about April, I think, and the amount of replies and business it got me was just astronomical. And to be honest, most offers fail, or most outreach offers fail for three main reasons. The offer is too vague or doesn't make sense. So you've got to think about a prospect or just other people, right? You watching this might be an intelligent person, but there's people out there that are as thick as pig shit, right? They haven't got a fucking clue. So when you're emailing them, you have to be extremely clear on exactly what it is you're offering. And I think Alex Hormozy says this. He says, if you can't explain your offer in like one line or two sentences, something like that, then it's too complicated. It needs to be simple, okay? It needs to be simple and it can't be vague. So you've got to find that, that the middle ground, the perfect point of understandability, if that's a word. And, but also something that sort of, it explains everything that you are offering. If you're getting replies from your cold emails and people are saying what you're actually offering, your offer is weak. Okay. Like a really popular offer would be book more calls, or, I'll get you more meetings, something like that, which is just vague, right? And also a lot of people will be doing that offer. So what I encourage in my community is, one, with the copy, you have to think outside the box, especially with all these icebreakers that everyone's doing now. Everyone just does icebreakers. Pick something from their LinkedIn and write about it in an icebreaker. Everyone sees through it. Everyone knows it's AI because of how common it is now. So you have to stand out and think outside the box, and it's the exact same with your offer. You have to stand out and think outside the box. I don't think you should be doing what everyone else is doing. Can you still book clients and meetings with that kind of offer? Absolutely. If it's something that's risk reverse, risk free, something like a guarantee, you're going to get meetings and you're going to get, hopefully, booked clients. But really, you should be thinking outside the box, I think, with your offer, something that other people aren't doing, something that obviously doesn't put your business at risk, but really think outside the box. And I encourage you to think. People who run AI automation agencies, who work with AI every day, have a tendency to ask ChatGPT everything. ChatGPT runs their business. And if you're doing that, it means it's giving the same answers to you as it is to every single person that's running an AI automations agency. So you need to actually sit there and do thinking, right? Get yourself a notepad, write down your offers, right? Write down 10 offers and just pick one. Pick one or two that you think is potentially the best. And then you can put that into ChatGPT that potentially give you more context or bulk out, or even give you even more ideas on top of that, and refine it until it's something you get really excited about and you can't wait to unleash this onto the unlucky recipients that are going to get your crap emails. Unless you follow me, then they're going to be good emails. Okay. Now, number two, another reason outreach fails is because it's not believable, right? You might be promising them the absolute world. Now, you could argue that the offer that I spoke about at the start, where I was giving the automation for free, didn't really sound too believable. And then, to be fair, a lot of people did say to me, what's the catch here? And I said, no catch. And I'd send them the automation blueprint, and I'd also send them a loom breaking down exactly how they would get this up and running for themselves. Now, to be fair, it didn't include a few of the prompts because that is really the magic. Now, I sell this for or I used to be selling this for $3,500 as a one-off. I now do more like a retainer model, but I was selling it as a one-off for $3,500 and pounds, that is, so about $4,500. And it I can't remember what the fuck I was about to say. Honestly, I have no clue what I was going to say, but I was basically going down the line of what I used to do for the offer before, where I'd send them a loom of how to get it set up and, not give all the information away. Obviously, the prompts weren't in there, but I'd give them enough so they could get set up and put it into make.com or N8N, whatever it was, or it was make.com at the time, so they could actually get it set up for themselves. Now, a lot of people, well, again, about 99% would come back to me and say, hey, I've done it, but there's still bits that need filling in. Do you know what I mean? Imagine you being a beginner, logging onto make.com, you wouldn't have a bloody clue. You wouldn't have a clue what you were meant to be doing. And that's when they go, oh, can you just come in? And I go, boom, I come in, save the day. And I do it for a little bit cheaper, to be fair, because they already had most of the logic. So I think I was sending them for about $2,500 to $3,000. It was a bit cheaper than I was doing before. So about $3,500 to $4,000. But yeah, it's not that my offer wasn't not believable, because I'd follow it up with stuff, and I could do that in something tangible, like a loom video. I could go straight away and I could say that this is how you set it up, and they'd see that. Whereas say you were saying, I'll get you 100 clients in 30 days. They're just going to go, shut the fuck up. They're going to know it's spam, right? They're going to think it's spam. Because realistically, unless you're sending a million emails, you're not going to get 100 clients, and no one really, unless it's some sort of SaaS or something, and no one even wants 100 clients because in a month, because they're going to have an incredible amount of, they're going to be up 24 hours a day for 30 days in a month, trying to close people on sales calls, right? And as much as that sounds fun, it won't be, right? Now, reason number 3 your offer might flop is because of no urgency, but also no simplicity. So let's just go back to what I said at the start, simplicity. People are fucking thick, right? So you need it to be simple. If people have to think, if they have to look at the email and think about what it is you're trying to offer, I promise they will not reply. The key to a good offer is keeping it simple, right? Making sure someone will understand. And if you have to, fucking send it to your nan, right? And go, Nan, do you understand this? Right? And she'll probably say no, because it's AI. But let's say, send it to a mate or something, right? Someone your age. And so, do you understand this? Does this make complete sense? And if they say, oh, well, what is it? Is that what? So you're doing this? And if you have to question it, no, go back to the drawing board and go again, and keep doing that until someone goes, yeah, of course, it's fucking simple. Because obviously, I know exactly what you're offering. That's what it has to be. Okay, so fucking simple, something that everyone can fucking understand and easy to, don't have to think, so they'll reply to it, right? So if you want your outreach and your offer to work, it has to be 3 things, okay? It has to be clear, simple, clear, and easy to understand. It has to be believable. By believable, I mean not fucking astronomically, incredibly hard. Basically, not unbelievable is what I mean by believable. And it needs to have a high ROI, right? So a high perceived return of investment. And I'm going to break down exactly how to do that. So let's start with believability, right? And the obvious thing with believability is not overpromising, not promising the world, because it's much better if you actually under-promise and over-deliver. That means your churn is probably going to be less, because these people are going to stay on with you a lot longer, because you've set a tone of, you set the bar low, and now you're actually over-delivering. And you can probably say, yeah, it's because of your great offer, or because I love working with you, and they're going to want to stay with you. It's building rapport and building a relationship with them. So if I was to give an example, something like me, I'd say something like, we build cold email infrastructure using AI and automation that books 20 plus qualified meetings per month, even from brand new inboxes or even from day one, something like that. From day one, okay? No warm up, something like that, right? So if you've watched my other videos, you'll understand what I'm on about there. It's believable, okay? 20 qualified, what did I say? Meetings. That might not be believable. You could do it if you were sending to like 10,000 people a month. Or, you probably want a bit of a safety buffer and to go a bit higher if you want to do meetings. But let's say qualified replies. For example, I can bet you, we automate, we have our own cold email infrastructure that uses AI and automation to book 20 qualified leads per month, even from day one, or even from, you get the gist, right? Believable, okay? It's something you can deliver, and it's something you can actually deliver, or over deliver. It's something you can over deliver, yeah. Now, number 2, high ROI. You want to frame the outcome around money or time. Okay, so you can either save them a fuckload of time or you can make them a fuckload of money. So, for example, people from my cold email infrastructure, someone that's already cold emailing, let's say you've scraped the Slack channel of Instantly. Okay, now you can say, turn your cold email strategy into 50 or 5 times your cold email, 5 times your pipeline, using our cold email strategy or our cold email infrastructure, something like that. You'd send to people that are already cold emailing, right? Because it has a high ROI. Do you know what you could mention as well? Is time. So add an extra 50K a month in pipeline, which you can do, especially if they're high ticket. Add an extra 50K a month in pipeline with less than 30 minutes of input, or add an extra 50K in pipeline starting tomorrow. Something like that, using our cold email infrastructure, right? Something like that. It's a high ROI. It's something that you can deliver really quickly. Okay, you can do it tomorrow. You can start tomorrow, and it's gonna add another 50K in pipeline, which is a fucking load of money, right? And number 3, simplicity. Can you say it in one breath? Can you say it in one sentence? Can you fucking ask your nan if she'll understand it, or your mate, you know what I mean? I said it earlier. Something like, this is probably a bad example. A done for you email infrastructure that books meetings on autopilot. Okay, it makes sense. It's done for you email infrastructure. So, me as a client, I don't have to do anything there. So it's done for you, and it's on my whole email infrastructure, which means, okay, that's the domains, that's the inboxes, that's the fucking DNS records, that's everything set up for me. It's gonna book me, I'm gonna get meetings on autopilot, so meetings are just gonna land in my calendar. You could even add an extra bit in there, which I tend to do in my headline, is that writes like you. So, okay, so it's actually, that might add a bit of confusion in there, to be fair, but you could add it in because it's also sort of simplicity. It sort of makes me understand, okay, it writes like me, but it would make me think, how does it write like me? And it obviously is AI and a lot of training and prompts, etc., for it to actually know what I sound like and write in my tone of voice. Okay, now let's talk the psychology around a good offer, right? I'm going to talk through 4 things here. And number 1 is free stuff, okay? People fucking love free, but there's clever ways to use it, 1, profitably, and 2, ethically. Okay, so let's start with what's called the free bribe. Yeah, look at my hedgehog. I'm going to bribe this hedgehog. Fucking piece of shit. So what I mean by free bribe is give value up front, but require some sort of authenticators require a step. What I mean by that is, you could say, I'll give you, this is a shit example, so don't use this. I'll give you 100 personalized leads for free if you come on a call with us. Okay. Or if you jump on a call with me. Download our free automation blueprint if you jump on a call with me. Think of it as like an if. Just think of if, right? Give value and then step, and then in the middle, if. Okay, so I'll do this for you if you do this for me. If I will you. It's actually good sales psychology. I used to do it when trying to get proposals signed, sealed, delivered as soon as possible. When I was closing a call, sometimes in these sort of things, it'd be like, yeah, we'll sign it, but we'll sign it in our own time. But it was like, I used to use this psychology where it'd be like, okay, if I get that over to, or if I call in a favor in the finance department and get that sales order sent over to you within the next few minutes, will you sign that and get it back to me in the next few minutes as well? So it seems as though I'm doing a favor for them and they've got to do me the favor back, right? But it's psychology. So if I do this for you, will you do this for me? Really, really good bit of psychology. It's just called the if I will you, I believe. I don't know if it's got an actual term for it, but the if I will you. Number 2, which is probably the most common one, is free with deposit, right? So what I mean by that is, they're going to commit, but without much risk. And it's the same with you as well. You're going to commit with little risk as well. So, okay, I'll give you an example. We'll build your infrastructure, or we'll build your cold email system. You only pay if it works. We just need we'll add refundable. So we'll just need a refundable deposit to cover the cost of the system. Normally something like £500, £750, probably the same in dollars, just so you can cover the costs and maybe make a tiny bit of profit for yourself. Well, a bit of profit for yourself, be a bit more than tiny. Couple $100, couple £100 profit, just so you're not doing it for complete free. So take commitment without risk. We'll build your infrastructure and you only pay if it works. We just need a refundable deposit to secure a spot. That would be a good one to get you confirmed. Yeah. Number 3, which is a good one. I like this one. Free trial with a lock-in. Okay. So what this would be a good one for is, say you have a big, which is common with AI automation agencies, with a lot of agencies, to be fair, and any agency, is like a one-time setup fee and then a monthly retainer. But what you could do is say, okay, I'll waive the one-off setup fee if you commit to 3 months. Okay, so say you're selling it for 3.5, 4 grand, something like that. Okay, we'll build your whole infrastructure. And I'll waive the setup fee if you commit to 3 months at $750 a month, $900 a month, $1,250 a month, right? So they're saving 5 grand or 4 grand, whatever your setup fee is, okay? Or another example is, we'll build your infrastructure or we'll run your outbound for 2 weeks. And if it works, or we'll run your outbound for 2 weeks, and if you get X amount of meetings or X amount of leads, you commit for 3 months. You'd actually be surprised with the amount of people that do that one. And then the last one is the one that I did, is the free giveaway. So that basically is going to create demand. You're going to get a lot of replies. But if you could add some sort of scarcity in there, that would be even better. And what I mean by that is, say it's only available to the first 5 people, or say it's only available for 1 person. So I'm giving away this automation setup. I'm giving away this infrastructure that was used to email you for free, and then put in brackets, normally £4,000. Just fill this in and I'll pick someone by Friday. And you could send them a form, and they'll reply to it, and suddenly you got a fucking load of leads. You got an email list as well. Pretty good idea, but or you can say, I'm giving away this free automation. This automation used to email you for free, which is normally $3,500. Just reply yes, and I'll send you the blueprint. Yeah, something like that. It's only available to the first 3 people that get back to me. Next thing you know, you got 50 people getting back to you, and you're selling them an automation. And the mad thing is that every single one of these I've used, every single one of these has worked for me, and every single one of these is working for people in my community right now. So that's pretty much it from me. That's all I've got to say about creating offers. Now, I need you all to understand, just as a closing note, how important offers are. I promise you, if you're sitting here right now and you've been doing this for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and you haven't got a client yet, you need to change your offer. You need to look at your offer. And the way to know whether your offer is good or not is the positive response rate. Don't look at the response rate, look at the positive response rate, okay? If you're 30% above, your offer is decent, it's okay, it's good. If you're 35 and above, it's good. If you're 40 and above, it's very good. If your positive response rate is anywhere near 50%, it's excellent. Hammer that home, reply, email every fucking one in your contacts list. Not even that, just scrape a load of leads and just use that offer. You've got clearly a very good offer there, and just run with it, okay? And you will sign a hell of a lot of clients. But that's sort of the metrics I tell you to understand whether your offer is going to be doing well or not. And if you want to get replies from strangers, you have to have a great offer. It's as simple as that. They can't even see your face. All they can see is your fucking name on a piece of paper and someone pretty clearly trying to sell them something. So if you want to stack your calendar without sounding like a spammer, it's your offer that does the heavy lifting. Okay, and I'm helping people with their offers in my community. I show them all about that in my community. So if you want help, check that out. If you're a founder, I help plenty of businesses create high converting email copy and offers so they can scale their business. So if you want that as a founder, check my LinkedIn and book a call. Other than that, I hope everyone's having a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.